welcome. Today we are going to be talking about clean wine, and I am going to unbox our Thrive Market wine order for you that we just received yesterday. And I'm super excited because I just started looking into clean wine, and you may be on this channel thinking, what on earth does clean wine have to do with wellness or biblical health? Well, you're about to find out. But first, I want to say welcome to anybody who's new to this channel. My name is Willis. I empower families to wellness authentically through biblically rooted principles. We are so glad you are here. Thank you for joining us. All right, so Tuesdays, I typically do unboxing videos with you guys. And this week, I was like, let's unbox my wine. But I want to share with you because I know wine and alcohol in general can be a very, people have vast opinions on them. And sometimes you will hear health enthusiasts say, no matter what, don't touch any alcohol. Absolutely not. It can't be beneficial for you at all, ever, period. If you've been following along with me, you know I'm more concerned about the patterns I see in scripture and in the Bible than what I see from health enthusiasts online and researchers. Because I want to know, what does God say? What does God have to think about it? And if we look at God incarnate as Jesus, when he was here walking the earth, did he drink wine? All evidence says yes. And his very first miracle was turning water into wine. And so I think in its time, in its place, it can be very beneficial. And I know there's a lot of controversy over whether there are health benefits, whether there's not health benefits. And to me, it's one of those things that if you're using, it all depends. It all depends. It's kind of like, is meat good for you or is meat bad for you? Well, it depends. Are you using grass-fed, really good meat, or are you using meat that was raised in a CAFO and was fed things that cows were never intended to digest? So it completely changes the nutritional profile of the meat. That's a different video for a different time. But also your wine is going to be very, very dependent on the grapes that were used, the additives that were used, how it was fermented. And that's going to very much impact both the health benefits and the health impacts on your body, right? So if you have a wine that has been very well made, and there's been care that has been into the grapes and the way that they're grown, they're not sprayed and slathered with pesticides, which is a huge problem in the wine industry. Grapes are heavily, heavily sprayed in a lot of places. So if they're not heavily sprayed, there's not a lot of synthetic sulfites added. There's not a lot of other additional chemicals. I am new to researching chemicals in wine. I have been a nerd about my food and ingredients with meat, with vegetables, with anything I buy from the grocery store, with the exception of wine. And the reason was because it was my one thing that I wasn't thinking about. And I'm like, if I am super careful about every other thing I put in my body, my supplements, my food, like if it's just the wine, my water, I'm super careful about my water, the clothes that I buy, like all of these things. If it's just the wine, it'll be okay right now. But now it's been years that I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, but we regularly drink wine. My husband and I drink a glass of wine, usually most evenings, but not every evening. Very much moderation. We don't overdo it. We love our wine. In fact, we even have a Wine Down Wednesday channel. Well, we do Wine Down Wednesdays on our new Rumble channel, Willis Whims. So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll link it below for you there. I will give the heads up that not every wine we do on Willis Whims is a clean wine, because our goal is just $20 or under on the bottle, and we're trying to do a variety for people, but we do strive to do clean wines as frequently as possible. Now, we just started that, and Thrive Market has made it super easy for us because they curate a lot of their wines. I recently learned that over 60 different chemicals can be used and additives can be used in the winemaking process that don't have to be put on the label. So the labeling standards for wines are kind of like the labeling standards for essential oils. You have to do your research. You have to know the company. You need to ask really good questions in order to know what's in your oils. And so two of the ones that really stood out to me actually were listed on Thrive's website that they use. Here's things you never thought you would be saying are in your wine, right? Like you think, oh, it's grapes that have been fermented and that's about it. Like they probably add some sugar and maybe some yeast, right? Okay, I'm gonna butcher these, so I will put them here in type for you because there's no way I'm gonna pronounce these correctly. Dimethyl dicarbonate, DMDC, which is also known as Velcorin, is used frequently to sterilize and dealcoholize, yeah, to dealcoholize wine. Okay, then you have polyvinyl polypropylene, PVPP. And this is a powder that reduces bitterness and corrects color in wines. So these are just some of the frequent chemicals that's like, oh wait, that's in regular wine? Why? If you're with me, if you've done any research on foods frequently, your thought is, why? Why is that necessary? Why must we do that? Can't we just take a little bit of extra time and do it the way God intended it to be done? Seems easy to me. But short of making all of our own wines, which who knows, maybe we'll end up doing someday, we do enjoy getting wine out and about and exploring new ones. So without further ado, let me show you what we got. This is one of the variety packs from Thrive, and this is actually, they do a curated one for different months. They also have, like, you can get a red wine pack, you can get a white wine pack, you can mix and match your own, you can do all of one variety or whatever. And they use the base standards for theirs. They were organic or biodynamically grown grapes. So you're starting with good ingredients, right? Going into your wines. And then they're also free from a lot of chemicals, low sulfites, that sort of thing. So you're not adding a whole bunch. And I believe one of the wines in here is a natural wine, meaning that they don't even add any sort of yeast or anything to it. It's just naturally fermented, like you would do a kombucha. You start with a culture, but so you end up with probiotic bacteria essentially, and then they're not allowed to do flash pasteurization or anything like that, which is great because you've got a fermented beverage in your hand. Why do you want to kill all of the good probiotic bacteria that would be in there? So this one here is the Laguna. And this is an Italian wine. It's a white wine, 2019. I'm not gonna go into a lot of information on each of these because honestly, I don't know a lot, but you can look them all up on the Thrive Market site when you look at their wines. This was their February pack. So this is an Italian white wine. Then we have the Domaine Chardonnay, and this is made with organic grapes. It's labeled, I think it is from France. It's bottled in France. So that's that one. Okay, so this is the Eron Sauvignon Blanc. I'm excited to try this one. It's from New Zealand, and New Zealand grows a lot of really great Sauv Blancs. This is a 2020 and it's young. We had their Cabernet Sauvignon just a few days ago, and it was a very, very light cab, but delicious, just different pairing. So it was very young, so it was light bodied, but it was still a little fuller because it's still a Cab Sauv. But this is their Sauv Blanc. Then, this label's cute. This is the La Lipa. It is a Barbera. So Barberas are typically from Italy, and this says it goes well with soup, pasta, risotto, and also with pizza. So I'm excited. I'll do some homemade pizza to pair with the Barbera. Maybe we'll do that this week for Wine Down Wednesday. I'll have to find out. I have to look at the price of each of the individual bottles for that to decide if it fits under our 20. Côte de Rhône Village. This is a 2019 Domaine de Grand Ribe and made with organic grapes, product of France. So it's Côte de Rhône blend. And then this, ooh, that's a pretty, it is a snail. I thought it was just a seashell. Okay, Pago Casagran, made with organic grapes, Raposa, and this is a blend of Garnacha, Tintorera, 40%. I actually don't know that great. Wonder if it's similar to Grenache, maybe. And then Monastrell, 40%, and Syrah, 20%. This is actually a vegan red wine. Interesting. Because one of the other things is there's oftentimes a lot of animal products that are used in the production of wine as well. So, which to me, as long as they're using good animal products, that's not a super big concern. I would just like to know. To know what I'm consuming, especially if you're working through any food sensitivities or anything like that, you want to be sure you know what you're consuming. So those are the wines that we have this month. I'm really excited to have gotten them. You can order in 6, like a half case, 6 bottles, or you can do a full case of wine, 12 ounces, 12 bottles. 12 ounces is clearly not a case. And they discount it, I think, an extra $1 a bottle when you do 12 versus the 6. But anyway, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Do you have sources of clean wine that you really enjoy and that is truly clean? Because I know there's a lot of clean stuff out there on the market that is more marketing, kind of like a lot of natural food products that are more marketing because there's no, regulation on the actual marketing and labeling of it. But if you know of some other really great sourced wines, I would love to know, because we're always looking to expand our wine collection because we do love our wine. So until next time, take care, friends. Cheers.